marching band from Stow, Ohio. Here to announce for Stow-Munroe Falls High School is Mr. Chris Schrickle.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Greg Newman, Sam Sandman, Crystal Grossi, Nick Campagna, Tom Lewis, and student conductor James Elmore, put your hands together and stomp your feet as we present the 2018 Stow-Munroe Falls High School Bulldog Marching Band. You can let us know who later on who did it best. We begin our show with a song written by Pete Townsend of The Who and recorded for the band's 1967 album, The Who's Sell Out. It remains The Who's biggest hit single and only top 10 single in the U.S. at number 9. Townsend actually played a one-note guitar solo for the song and later admitted it was because he was intimidated by Jimi Hendrix and felt he couldn't compete with his skills. Featuring junior trumpeter Scott Klein, here's I Can See for Miles. Greenbaum's 1969 hit Spirit in the Sky is one of the definitive one-hit wonders of the rock era. The song resonated with music fans and peaked at number 3 in April 1970 and sold 2 million copies. But Greenbaum's other singles and albums failed on the charts and he was eventually dropped from his record label. Frustrated, he gave up music, lost all his money, and went to work as a cook in Northern California. But there is a happy ending to my story. Greenbaum's song has been used in more than 30 major movies, including Ocean's 11, Apollo 13, and Guardians of the Galaxy. And now every time the song is played in a movie or commercial, Greenbaum receives at least $10,000. Enjoy Spirit in the Sky. Turn" by the Byrds was written by Pete Seeger, an influential folk singer and activist. The song was first released by the folk group The Limelighters in 1962 and later by Judy Collins in 1963, and then by Australian folk singer Gary Shearson in 1964 before being recorded by the Byrds in 1965. The song's lyrics were taken from the first 8 verses of the 3rd chapter of Ecclesiastes. The single, released by the Byrds, entered the charts at number 80 in October of 1965 and then reached number 1 in December of that same year. Here's Turn, Turn, Turn! Anyone who has seen the Blues Brothers movie is very familiar with our next song. Think, by the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, was released as a single in 1968. The song, a feminist anthem, reached number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming Franklin's 7th top 10 in the United States. Dedicated to the late, great Queen of Soul, you better think! White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane is one of Grace Slick's earliest songs and uses imagery found in the fantasy works of Lewis Carroll. Characters Slick referenced include Alice, the White Rabbit, the White Knight, the Red Queen, and the Dormouse. Slick was quoted as saying, "White Rabbit is about following your curiosity. The White Rabbit is your curiosity." So let's see where that White Rabbit leads us. presentation of House of the Rising Sun. The Marching Bulldogs would like to thank Mrs. O'Connor and her staff and the Hudson Swing Marching Band parents for the opportunity to perform this evening and wish them the best for the fall marching band season.
Let's hear it one more time for the Stow-Munroe Falls High School Bulldog Marching Band. I think I'll concede that one to you. At this time, if you haven't already, 2 representatives